Hi guys, Badman here. So today the video is going to be based on joining a guild versus creating your own guild and the advantages and disadvantages on both sides. So pretty much I've loaded up this newer castle just so I could kind of show you like actually how to do both things. So yeah, so one of the first things I would have said is if you haven't joined a guild before, one of the first advantages you get is the game will give you 400 gems whether you create your own guild or you join a guild. So that's a great incentive to be able to get just off the bat. Because like I covered in one of my earlier videos about VIP, that's maybe a great way you can start boosting that VIP level. If you haven't seen it, it's called VIP Explained, and then you'll see where them gems might come into good play for yourselves. However, moving on. So the bottom taskbar is now open, and what we're going to look for is the little symbol with the shield with the sword on, which looks like it's got some wings on the side of it. And this is basically the guild symbol. You click this. Normally on this, it would actually say to you that there would be a £400, 400 gem bonus for joining a guild. But because this castle had previously joined one, then it doesn't actually show you that. It just explains some of the better features you get for being in a guild. So the guild I'm going to choose to join is my own personal one. There is a couple of ways you can find a guild. You can search via language. Now this is quite good for players that can only speak one particular language, because say if you can speak only French, you might not want to join a guild that specifies that they only speak German, because obviously the language barrier might become a problem. There is a small translation button that I can probably show you on there to kind of that you can press, that I'll actually show you. But if you can only speak French, maybe try and look out for a predominant French guild. Or if you do have friends in a Pacific guild, the alternate way to find a guild might be the best way. Now, in the search bar to the left, there's two ways you can look for it. Like, if say you had a friend in this alpha pack, you could type in the top there alpha pack, and it will and then press the magnifying glass, and what it would do is it would show you any guild with that same name in. Or an easier way, or possibly an easier way, is if you know the three letters they use for their tag. In my case, I do, because I'm using the one that I lead, and my tag is fit. So I type in our tag name, I click the magnifying glass, and lo and behold, there we turn up, the Badman and the Babes. So we would like to apply for that, and in a second I will get a response because I've got it loaded up on another screen, and it will then turn around and say, you have now joined Badman and Babes. And there's me busy talking, so I'll just squidge that off. Okay, so the instant advantages you get from joining a guild is you get access to guild quests. So guild quests are a bit like admin quests. They regenerate every 6 hours periodically. Yeah, and so obviously you can work through collecting those and stuff, and that is one of the first advantages. As you can see in the guild quests, you get guild coins. So if I collect that, I'll get 100 guild coins, which is flying off to my little bag now. And yeah, so that's quite an advantage. One of the other things you can get is you can monster hunt whilst in a guild. So while you're in a guild, you can hunt monsters, where you can't actually do that when you're playing solo. So that's quite handy. So I can quickly show you how to monster hunt. So you literally, she was going to try and show you, but I'll just show you just quick. You just come out, then you load up the monster, and then you load up the 5 players on there, and then you go down, guy hits the monster, and this obviously levels up your characters and stuff. But again, monster hunting isn't what this video is about, it's about joining guilds. So we're going to quickly skip past that bit. Okay, other advantages you get if you have players in the same kingdom as yourself, you can send and accept helps off them. Now what this means, you see how if I try to build a resource that takes up a long time. Okay, say if I go construction 2, takes an hour and 18 minutes. I press help. If there was any members in my kingdom, they would have a notification that pops up in the bottom right hand corner. I think it's nearby this flash bouncing up and down chest, and then like with a thumb saying click this, and you will send help to that person, and then what they get in return is they get guild coins. So you get your time cut down on your research or your construction, and they get coins in return. Those guild coins themselves, those actually, as you can see here, they have a special guild coin section like for the shop, and you can buy stuff with it. You can buy speed ups, you can buy boosts, merging things, which is again something that's quite more later on, shields, all kinds of useful items, relocators. So generally for new players, I would spend my coins mostly on getting myself a couple of relocators so I can move my castle to their actual guild, the hive and stuff, and things like the gathering boost is quite good if you're using things like GF, like Guildfest or Kingdom versus Kingdom, and or just the 3-hour speed ups is quite handy when you start getting into the higher time frames and stuff. But again, I'm rearing off a little bit, so we'll come away from that. So the other advantage, the main advantage you get from joining a more renowned guild versus your own guild is what you get from a main guild is the fact of help. So basically, if they can hunt, say 20-30, if they can hunt, say 20-30 monsters a day, then you will actually get 20-30 monster hunting gifts a day. As you can see, I've got a little gift symbol there because someone has very nicely hunted a monster while we've been playing this. And then now I get a free monster chest. So, so that's basically the advantage of being in a bigger one. They can offer you more help. They also have the advantage of the experience aspect. Like the guild that we run, we obviously have myself that's been playing for about a year and a half, and then I have multiple R4s underneath me, which are like the top lieutenants, that are kind of like my war council, if you will, and they pretty much have all been playing for a few years. And so you can imagine that if you were a new player coming into a guild like that, the amount of experience we can help you grow as a player. So that's probably your main advantage of being in a big guild. Now I'm going to leave this because I've got some of my people asking me why, just so I can quickly show you, asking me why this person's obviously joining in. See, low mic people in, so I need to kind of leave here. I'll just quickly chat on here, and this is the other thing, you get this guild chats, and I can say thank you, I'm leaving, and then you can talk to the other members. And they can talk back to you. and then you just click leave and then confirm. Cool. So pretty much that's the first aspect of the being in a guild. First is creating a guild. So again, you click the guild button, you click create, and now you get this menu where this is where you get to start to decide how you want it to be. Like personally, I like the design of that guild logo. You could click design. You can click the dice in the middle on the right hand side there, and it will randomize the picture. You can have different types of border backgrounds, different colored emblems and stuff, and then crests. However, for this video I kind of like that. So the guild name, I'm gonna try and call it Wooden Spoon. And funny enough, Wooden Spoon has been accepted. So this guild is now called Wooden Spoon. So I'm going to call this SWS1. And hopefully that will be accepted too. So basically, I have now named a guild, which is called Wooden Spoon. I have created a guild tag which is WS1, and the default language you can choose. Again, if you speak one language and you just want all your players to speak that language, choose the language. If you would prefer people to feel comfortable and you want to draw more people to your guild, then choose all languages. Or in my case, for this video, I'm going to go just with English, go create, and then pretty much like before, I've now got my own guild. However, some of the features I can show you now was things like gift level. Gift level will be level 1 because you created this, where in my guild it was level 5. And all that means is every time a monster was hunted, you get 1 key out of the box plus your item, and then every time you get a key it adds on to this. You see this sapphire box, and it needs 2 million keys put into the big key in order to kind of get to fill that bar, which then unlocks the sapphire box. And then every member in your team gets like the gift level box, and the gift level box then boosts your gift level. And from what I understand, the higher your gift level, the better the items come out of, say, the sapphire box or the emerald box and stuff like that. So this is the same page where all your gifts from Monster Hunting will appear. Because I'm the leader, obviously I can look at how many members there are and where the members have come in and stuff, and I can move these members around, but there's just me. So this is one aspect of it. You can, when new applicants come, they come on this guild applications, and you can basically accept them or deny them. At the beginning case, for young guilds, accepting who kind of comes along is probably sensible. You've also got, you can edit this message, this guild message on here, and then this message basically shows up internally on your guild. So all of your internal guild members will see this message, not people applying to your guild. The diplomatic board. This diplomatic board is so other guilds can leave messages on here and still be in their guild. So I could go on to, I think I could search Fitzboard, and then I could kind of do it that way. But that would take some... I will just find myself 1 second. do it like, and I will show you posting a message on someone else's board. Funny enough, it doesn't like my own name. Lol. Right, so go view. And then guild, and then go to the dip board. And then if I put hi, like that, that will then appear on their dip board. And that's pretty much how that aspect works. For some reason, someone's called Badman2 in my guild, which I need to look into at some point. However, moving on. So we've covered the dip board, gift level, application members. So if you go to manage guild, because you are the active leader, some of the things that you might want to kind of figure out here, that's why I'll cover them, is recruitment. You can change this section here. It says currently is restricted. That basically means players have to apply to your guild. If you plan to open a new guild up, turn it to open. Let people walk in and walk out as they feel fit. You will find you get more footfall traffic if you leave that open at least until you get about 50 members, because each guild can hold up to about 100, and otherwise you'll find that people just won't bother to come inside. Public information. This bit is the bit that people will see as they're applying to your guild. So what they can see is guild leader is Scout Kid 56, total might, which is all members combined might together in the guild, how many current members in this guild, which in this case is 1. It's public, which means that anyone can walk in. Its default language is English, and obviously again you've got the basic stuff where you can message the leader and rankings and stuff, and then you can basically just type in a small message on here where you're trying to advertise. So it's basically, this is the pull, the bit that brings people into here and say, I'm a fighting guild, come and fight with me. And just confirm that. So then when someone finds this guild, they can see that it's basically a little description of what we're about. You might want to put on there kind of like if you're a farming guild, or if you're a friendly guild, or like I've put, this is a fighting guild. Stuff like that. You can, on this page is mostly stuff that only R4, but certainly like certain things like R5, like you're the guild leader is the only one that can change the recruitment to open and closed, where R4s might be able to change the public information. The default language, which I covered before, the guild tag, that's the 3 letters. Changing the home kingdom. So this is basically saying where Scout Kid 56 is currently based. So you would obviously have it to where most of your members are based, simply because that's where you're going to attract most members from. So in this case, they're based in 361. So you just leave that alone. You can transfer ownership of your guild, which basically means I generally, if I'm going to be busy for a few days and I know that I can't take full responsibility for my guild, I'll pass my ownership over to RK and I'll transfer it down to her, and she sends me smiley emojis because she's gone green for a few days. But anyways, enough of that. And again, that's pretty much it. The disadvantages, in my opinion, that a player will get from setting up their own guild is their gift level will instantly be level 1. So that's a bad draw factor that a lot of bigger mic players do look at this as an aspect. Obviously, and setting up your own guild is, if you don't get so many members within a set period of time at the beginning, then the guild automatically disbands. So setting up a guild is good, but I wouldn't recommend it for basic or starting off players. I would say if you're a starting off player, join a guild, learn how to play the game for a bit, make some friends, make some allies, and then if you get a bit tired of people telling you what to do or following people's rules, then go off and build your own guild. So I suppose in closing, I would say making a guild versus joining a guild, I would say that making your own guild is probably for more advanced players versus joining a guild, which is probably a good advantage for more basic players. And that's pretty much all I've got to cover. I know it's been long-winded. I know there's been a lot of backwards and forwards in this video, so I do apologise about that. But for tonight, and well, at least for now, cheers, bye.